Michelle and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to hopefully get to share with you pear butter. Instead of apples, I'm using pears because I have Asian pears. They're like apples, and I'm going to cook them up like I would apple butter, and then I'm going to can it and I'm going to show it to you. And it's going to be a long process, so bear with me here. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do and then I'll show it to you. First, I'm going to cut them up and put them in my steamer. Now, you don't have to do it this way, but this is just how I do it. I'll tell you how I do it, and then you can figure out how you want to do it. So I cut them up. I don't core them or peel them. I just put them in the steamer and I cook them. Typically, it's an hour to an hour and a half in my steamer. Then when I'm done with that, I put them through my strainer. Then I put it in my crock pot and I mix the different spices that you need to make apple butter. Then I put it in the jar and I can it. I water, steam, can it. And I usually do it for 40 minutes or so. And then I'm done. And I know that, and if you add that all the time up between all that, it takes me about 2 hours to do. No, it takes me closer to 3. I forgot. Because it takes me probably 20 minutes to cut it up and get it done. And then when you cook it, or when it's done cooking, you have to have a few minutes before you can strain it, otherwise you burn your fingers. Ask me now, I know, because I burned my fingers more than once. So I'm not hoping I don't do that this time. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to cut them up and put them in the canner. And let's get started because it's going to be a long process. But it is amazing when you eat it. So it's going to be a spiced pear sauce. So pear butter, like that. All right, so let's get started. This is the fun part. I put the cooked stuff in there, squeeze it out, and it comes out juice. And then I put it in my crock pot, and I add the spices. Okay, so I'm sorry, I forgot, but I put cardamom and cinnamon in this, and then I'm gonna stir it up, and I'm gonna let it cook for an hour, and then I'm going to put it in my jars and can it. But I just wanted to show you, I dumped it in and totally forgot to share it, but that's what I did next. I put in, I think, 2 tablespoons of each. And it's been doing this for 40 minutes now. 2 minutes left and I'm done. Alright, so it's finally done. And now I'm taking my jars from my canner and I'm setting them on the table to cool. So by tomorrow morning, they should be ready. Actually, I wait 24 hours, so not quite tomorrow morning, but I ended up with 13 jars that I canned. So I think that's pretty good. And it took me, it's now 11 o'clock and I started it took me 5 hours. I knew it was gonna take a while. That's a long time, but it's done. I wanted to show you this because there's the 12 I did, and then there's one more over there that I did. But I also canned pumpkin today. So 6 quarts of pumpkin and then 13 pints of spiced pear butter. Definitely kept me busy today. Got a lot done. So finally, at the end of the day, I am finally done with my canning of my my pear butter. It's my spiced pear butter. I looked up a recipe for spiced pears, and it actually wanted me to add sweetener. I didn't do that because I find that the pears are really sweet. I don't need any. And it also wanted cinnamon only, and I wanted to add cardamom, so I did that, and it tastes really good. I'm really glad that I tried it. I have one more crate that I could do some more on. I haven't decided if I have 1 crate of apples and 1 crate of pears left, so we'll see what I make with that. I like to keep the apples and the pears that I have left are ones that keep, so if I am careful and I watch them and I only use the ones that are starting to get kind of funny, I might be able to keep them for a while. Because my goal is to keep them until March or April. And they last that way if I take care of them. So if I'm really diligent about it, but we'll see. I actually still have tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant left. So that's kind of neat that I have them from my garden that I picked in October, so it's been over a month. That's pretty good. And I also have some things in my garden like kale and Brussels sprouts and those kinds of things. Those things are still out in my garden, so I'm doing pretty good. But anyway, thanks for tagging along and I'll see you next time. Bye!